except you don't have your towel. Get your towel out. You need your towel. Nice. First time. Alrighty, let's go. Other side. Oh, you want to go to the front? Go front, yeah. I've always had a thing for boot space. I go on and on about it, and I don't understand why people often don't consider this when they buy a car. Doesn't matter what kind of car it is. Could be a pickup truck, could be a station wagon, could be a sedan. I was thinking to myself, I'll see two kinds of cars, right? I'll see something like a Toyota Corolla and then say something like a Volkswagen Golf. And I think to myself, if they're the same price, why would you buy the Toyota Corolla? Because the Corolla's boot space it's 260 litres. It's the smallest boot space of any hatchback on the market in the world in that category, the smallest. And then you've got other vehicles, right, that are smaller than a Toyota Corolla. For example, remember the Honda Jazz? The Honda Jazz? Yeah. I mean, the boot space in the Honda Jazz is literally double the size, almost exactly double the size of what you get in a Toyota Corolla. And I've seen this and become an issue for so many people so many times. They're just like, oh, we can't take stuff. Oh, well, we're going to go to the beach. Can't take stuff. We just won't put it in the car. It really kind of ruins your trip, right? And yeah, you don't need a big boot all the time. But I think to myself, you've got a choice, right? There's 2 different cars here, or there's 5 different or 10 different cars. 2 of them have a tiny, tiny boot, and you go and buy the one with a tiny boot, even though it has no advantage over the one with the big size boot. Anyhow, very exclusive event here in Newcastle. Saturday, the 15th of March from 3 to 5 p.m. I'll be speaking here with just a couple of other speakers. Very small event. So you can meet me in person. You can actually have a look at my EV as well, the Xpeng G6. Test that out. I'll put a link in the description below to the event. I believe that the tickets will probably sell out very, very quickly. So if you're from Sydney, from Brisbane, from Newcastle, make sure you click on that link as quickly as possible to get in. I think there's only around 30 tickets left at this point in time. I'll put that link in the description and I'll see you there. Here are my thoughts. On the Xpeng G6, long range, great boot space. It's got 570 litres of boot space. But I love the split seats at the back because I just put one seat down so I can keep 2 seats up, and then I can fit in the surfboards. We can fit in probably 3 surfboards just in that single seat space, and putting them into the boot. But you also still have a lot of boot space left over in addition to that. And the boot space is very deceptive. When we did our long road trip down to Melbourne, and we went from Newcastle to Melbourne, we went into the Alps. I think we drove over 3,000 kilometers for one road trip, which a lot of people say can't be done, which is ridiculous. Of course, you can do it in an electric car. Doesn't matter what country you're in, you can do it. I found in that road trip that I stacked the back of the car and I thought, it's full. I can't fit anything else in there. And then I closed it and I went, hang on a minute. It looks like there's still heaps of space in there. Put more stuff on top. I went, surely it's full now. Closed it. And the boys were like, Dad, what are you doing? And I said, well, it looks full, so surely I can't get anything else in. I closed the boot again. I'm looking at it thinking, weird. I can still fit more stuff in there. Very deceptive how much space is actually in the boot area. Guys, are you like me? Have you ever had an issue? I remember I used to have a Toyota Orion. Remember those sort of basically like the size of a Toyota Camry? My wife and I and my boys were driving along, and the boys were very little, driving along a street, and someone had basically put 4 table dinner chairs, really nice ones. I don't know why, really my style. They put them out on the street to throw them away. And I thought, great, take those. And then I went, hang on a minute. Maybe I can't fit them in. I tried to fit the dining chairs in, and actually I couldn't fit any of them in, not a single one. If I'd had something like an Xpeng G6, a Tesla Model Y, I reckon I could have fit them all in. But with a sedan or a car with a compromised boot space, it's sort of like a situation like that where you go, oh, damn, I bought a car which doesn't make sense. 7 major Chinese automakers sold between 35 to 100% more cars in 2024 than they did in 2023. The global automotive industry did not get bigger. So that means only one thing, that Chinese car makers took massive market share from their rivals outside of China. Chinese electric car sales have just come in, my friends, and they are, well, pretty damn staggering. As a result of these record EV sales from Chinese car companies, China actually sold 42% of the world's cars in November. In December, that number was probably even higher. BYD, Zeekr, Xpeng, NIO, Leap Motor, all of them, Xiaomi, all of them broke car sales records for their companies. Here are the numbers, and here's what it actually means. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. It's great to have you with us. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Great to have you too. And guys, if you're charging your EV using electricity from the grid, I suggest not doing that, because solar systems on average give you a payback around $50,000 in America, and it's around 70,000 Australian dollars here in Australia. So it's a no-brainer. I use a solar system installed from Resync Solar. I'll put a link in the description below. By the way, I don't get any profit out of getting you guys to buy a system from them. I just recommend them because I use them and they were great. BYD has now sold just under 4.3 million cars this year, just under 4.3 million, which is insane considering 4 years ago they sold 400,000. That's crazy numbers, right? Well, the numbers for December, BYD's December sales were, to be honest, probably not quite what I expect them to be. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. It was really good numbers, but BYD sold for 514,809. Let's just call that 515,000 vehicles in December. I did expect a little bit more than that, because that was pretty much the same as what they sold in October and November.